Some boy dirty.
All right. Welcome
What's
back
up?
to another episode of In the Green Bets. Coming off about a break-even week for me at the match play. Got kind of unlucky on a couple of round head-to-heads. Lost or tied two that they had no business losing. Adam Scott should have been moving on. He choked it so bad to Kisner. I think if he gets by Kisner, he has kind of the same type of route to the finals that Kisner did. Scheffler probably still vanquishes him, but would have been nice to have a little bit better option there in the finals.
Yeah, I actually was. I don't know. I was kind of doing okay in the beginning, and then the Scott thing, like you said, just kind of screwed us. Abe screwed us. Kiz does what he does. Scotty is now all of a sudden the best player in the world. Going to be fun going into the Masters. Hopefully, he pushes some of those other guys down for us. But we got a ball strikers week. Should be fun. Should be a nice little prep week. And I don't put a ton of stock into last week just based on the event. It's not one of my. Some people like watching it, which I think it is fun to watch. But as far as betting wise, I don't really love it. But I'm excited for this week. There's some guys in here I think we can make some money on because some of these winners in the past year, 100 to 1, 300 to 1, 257. Like there's some value we could hit. So we could hit a long shot this week.
Yeah, this tournament is weird. You've seen Chalk win. I mean, Jordan Spieth won. A couple other guys that were low odds won. But then you get Monday qualifier Corey Connors. You get Andrew Landry. Some guys about 8 or 9 years ago that were like 300 to 1. So it's tough because the field's usually pretty bad. It is again this week. Spoiler alert. Because Masters is next week. It's like no one wants to play. A lot of people typically don't play the week before because they want to go early, get some extra rounds in, get kind of their routine set up for the Masters. And, I don't blame them. I think Rory, interesting strategy from Rory deciding not to play match play and to play here. I think he talked about, just the kind of the course and the way match play is. It doesn't really prep him the way he wants for the Masters. So kind of be interesting to watch how that goes. I think it's the first time in like 3 years he's done this instead of that. And then Spieth and Bryson are kind of the other two, and Abe and Decky, I guess, are kind of the big players this week. But wanted to mention a guy gearing up potentially for the Masters, the Cat, on the prowl at Augusta today with his son. Do you think he plays?
I do think he plays.
I think he plays too. Just he's one of those guys that, like, as long as it's not going to hurt him, he will like grit through anything. Pain tolerance for him is so high. Plus, I mean, I'm sure he can get shot up with whatever to make the pain kind of be better. But the one thing though, like if the Cat's playing, that means he's playing well because he's not going to go out and embarrass himself. Like there's no point in him. Like if he doesn't show up, nobody's gonna be like, oh man, like what a pussy. Like he broke his fucking leg in pieces. Like nobody's gonna say anything. So like if he's gonna show up and play, like you better believe that he's playing some pretty good golf, that he's in some decent form. He's been able to chip and putt for a long time, hit wedges and irons for a long time. It's just more of a stamina thing, it sounds like, with the leg. I don't know, not necessarily like rushing to bet him, but it would not shock me if it's like, oh shit, like he played pretty good. And maybe he wears down on Saturday and Sunday. That's obviously, to be expected. But if he's showing up, I expect him to play pretty well.
Yeah, I think, and we've seen it kind of in real time as it's happened over the years, is he's gotten a little bit more, he's put more stock into how people perceive him as of recently as he's gotten a little older. And the last thing he wants to do is go out there and just get absolutely waxed. Like he doesn't want that to be his thing. Like that's never happened to him, right? Like he doesn't want that to even be a chance. So he's not going to put himself out there if he doesn't think he can compete. And especially at a course like this. I mean, you and I were talking about it last night. He won here 2 years ago. Like it's not.
Yeah, he was playing amazing headed into that, but still, like this is one of those courses. The Masters is one of those courses that like knowledge and experience, like it really makes a difference, and no one knows that course and plays it better than him. So,
Right.
maybe he gets there today and tomorrow, and it game's just not quite sharp, and he's like, you know what, screw it, I'll be here for Champions Dinner and maybe the par three contest or something, but I don't want to play. But if he tees it up on Thursday, I would expect to see some, pretty pretty good golf, at least passable golf, make the cut type of golf.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I don't think either of us will have his number on there because the books won't
No,
put it at realistic odds, obviously, as they have.
he's like
Never,
50 to 1, 40 to 1, something
right,
like that.
like they never have. But it'll be fun. I mean, it'll be worth the spectacle, right? He'll be on TV all the time. He'll be
Yeah,
trying to
yeah.
win that award again, which is interesting. But yeah, we got a winner to hit before we move on to the Masters. I know it's an exciting time, but what do you think about Bryson? Let's start up there at the top.
Yeah. So in terms of like this course, I don't know how it fits Bryson. Some people think it does because um, longer drivers have done pretty well here, but it's more important to be in the fairway. Like you get off the
Right.
fairway here and you're like screwed. Uh, the the greens are hard to hit the way they are because they're relatively small. They're usually pretty firm, and around the greens, it's shaved areas, runoffs, that type of thing. So I'm not sure Bryson hits it straight enough. He definitely hits it long enough, and he's going to take. That's going to be an advantage here because the course is long. I think it's like 7,300 yards. Some long par fives, long par fours. I don't know. I don't know what to put. He looked rusty last week, but he did pretty well, considering he hasn't played in a long time. He was taking pretty good at cuts at stuff. It wasn't like he was bunting it around everywhere.
Right.
So I saw people betting him at 30. There's worse bets in this field than Bryson at 30,
For sure.
definitely. So I don't know. He's not going to be on my card, but the other thing is with him and Rory, I don't know that they care about winning this tournament. They just want to like hit good shots and hit shots that make sense for next week. For Bryson, it's more about reps. For Rory, it's about just I want to see the ball do these things, and I like to see my putter make some putts. So I don't know that their motivation is win necessarily.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, I want to kind of hit on that course note you talked about again. Is this might be more of a ball strikers and less of a putters contest, right? Like we've kind of mentioned in the past. So is that, how does that fit?
Corey Connors won.
Right. I guess that's
That's
true.
the ultimate ball strike, no putt.
So yeah, I mean, if he's there, he can definitely do it. I think betting him over 30 is actually pretty smart. I don't really mind that at all. I probably would do it right now if I could grab it, but I did not jump in on that fun, unfortunately. But it'll be interesting to see. This might be just like let me hit a bunch of good shots just so I'm confident into going next week, especially at a course where it allows him to ball strike, to what he'll have to do next week. But I kind of agree. I kind of always go back to your point of like, I'm not sure these guys aren't really trying to win. These guys are here to get ready. These guys are here to hit shots. They're in the South. Like I don't think really any of these guys are going to be up there on Sunday.
Yeah, I could see Spieth up there only because we've seen him do it at this tournament before, but I don't know. His Spieth game's bad. So, a couple more course notes. You've got your ball striking has to be good. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I mean, maybe you'll see one or two strays in the top 20 who just like putted their balls off or like were amazing off the tee, but your ball striking, your approach play has to be so good. Putting is kind of one of those things. Like obviously, it's out there to putt amazing and run up the field that way, but the greens are usually relatively slow, which the better putters don't like slow greens, so it's kind of neutralizing there. I mean, Corey Connors won this event. Putting does clearly not matter that much, or at the very least, it helps bad putters putt better. So, it's straight ball strikers week for me. Approach is like super weighted in my model. Fairways gained, greens and regulations gained, and you got to score on the few par fives that are out there. You can go low here if the conditions are not too windy. So I don't know. It'll be an interesting tournament because there's going to be some dudes in the top 10 who some people have never heard of for sure.
Yeah, you're going to have to par all these long ass par fours. Like you can't let those things just rack up bogeys on you. So we kind of went over the list the other day. Wallace, Siwoo, Koch, Neiman. These are all guys that have been on the leaderboards in the past few years. Connor's, like we said, one. Charlie Hoffman, this is like where he makes his money here. So we're going to see some weird names. We're going to see some guys who can really just hopefully get lucky on the greens because of the conditions that really kind of help them, give them a chance. I'll be interested to see that leaderboard because I'm gonna throw some darts.
Yeah, let's dive into the outright market here a little bit. Okay. No chance I'm touching Rory at 750 or Decky or Spieth at 14. This field is too. It's proven that long shot winners are almost likely, at least mid-range winners, 30 plus, 40 plus. This field is bad. I mean, once you get past those first 5 or 6 guys, it gets ugly in a hurry.
Yes.
I mean, just look at the names here in the 30 to 40 range. But if I'm going to start my card, I don't hate Answer at 22. He played pretty well last week, but I'm not even going to start that high.
My card starts at 40.
Woodland at 30 isn't terrible. I don't know if there's better numbers out there than that on Gary. There's a 28 there. 31. I potentially will start my card with Gary at 30, but it actually starts down here, I think, with the same guy for us, Adam Hadwin at 40.
Yeah, Hadwin's my winner this week. Although I don't know if I'm going to use him on a one and done, so it kind of contradicts itself. But I like Adam. I like the 40 number. His current form is unbelievable, and I think that he has a real chance at winning in a field like this.
Yeah, if you start looking at Hadwin's stats, 9th in approach, top 26 and around the green and putting, opportunities gained is high, good scrambler, hits a bunch of fairways and plays a par 4 as well. That's things you have to do here without a doubt. He's not long, but he's not like crazy short. He's not gonna get massacred off the tee. He's not Brian Harmon. So
right.
I definitely like him, and he's in great form for sure.
This range I actually don't even like that much, even though I do like him. I don't really like the Johnny Vegas I like, but not at 55.
Hell no.
KHD at 55, no. Palmer at 40, no. Like I don't like really any of these bets.
So, and this is just like a stupid waste of money on my part, but Finau at 40, I will just take a stab. I may decide between him and Bobby Mack. I think McIntyre's actually pretty good. I don't know if he hits enough fairways. Like he hits it really far, which is good, and maybe he can back it off and keep it in the fairways. But if you look here, he's first in strokes gained par 4, but 107th in fairways gained. That's not going to play here for whatever reason. He's bad in par 5 scoring. Decent in approach, decent around the greens, and his putter sucks. So maybe I'll take the Finau bet and hope that he starts showing a little bit of form. His last match play round, allegedly, he made a bunch of birdies, so maybe he's turning around. But that sounds like a recipe for a donation to a sportsbook.
Yeah, that's not going to be on my card. I would jump more towards this like 75 Thigala, 65 Russell Knox, although I don't think Russell Knox is winning, but I'm more for this range rather than that right below it because I don't really think the difference is that much at all. If we were some of these guys.
I don't mind Jason Day at 55, 50, wherever he is. I've seen a million people betting Kazire. I look at the model, I see it, but
I mean, Luke List just won.
Luke List popped 4th in my model, but I am not betting him.
I know he's not going to win again, but 60.
But look at his form.
40s.
Look at his form. 53rd miscut, and his putter just absolutely is gone. Just gone.
Yeah.
So, but yes, once you get down to 60s, it's a little bit better. I will bet Knox at 65 purely based on the Corey Connors trajectory of how he won. Like Knox's ball striking has been unbelievable. So
yeah, how's his fairways?
Yeah,
he does do well or no?
Yeah, he's a fairway finder, 100%. 15th in fairways gained, 4th in approach, 22nd off the tee.
Yeah, so we should maybe add that one.
He's a guy that I will for sure be betting at that number. I just think you can do way worse than that.
That's
Doug Gim at 80. I will take a stab at Doug Gim at 80. He's a Texas guy, ball striker. I have no idea what his form is, but I know that his ball striking is there if he can get the putter going. He actually played well at Players. I know he played well there. you get going down this range. I guess Lanto at 90. I don't know that Lanto gets enough fairways though. There's some weird people on this. Yeah, Lanto, 114th in fairways gained. I mean, his ball striking is there for sure. Definitely, there's a guy right here at 100 that I am betting, Martin Laird.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
I know his putter sucks, but I think he's a Texas guy, right? Isn't he a former Texas player? And his ball striking numbers are really, really nice.
Let me look at his college. He went to Colorado State, but I don't know if
I don't know why I think he was a Texas guy. Maybe he's played well here in Texas.
Born in the UK.
Yeah, I know he's a.
You could throw some darts in this area for sure. I don't really think you go wrong in many places. CT Pan's another one. Taylor Moore is probably going to win in the next few years. I mean, he'll probably win a shitty event, but he could win. I like Stigala at 75 just based on pure ball striking. I know he has that.
Yeah, and talent, and just like pure talent.
We saw Davis Riley get second at the Players. I mean, obviously that's going to demand. So these are all, you can kind of convince me into a lot of these guys.
Yeah, Glover's been good in Texas, but I'm not going there. Brian Stewart's been good at this tournament. Played well last week. Smotherman's ball strike. He's flashed some ball striking. Bo Hostler, Texas guy, has flashed some ball striking and putting. Bond just finished second at the Players and has played well here in the past. He has no form other than the Players, but his ball striking at points has been very good. And at 150 to 1, you can do worse. I think Chappell played pretty well last week. Aaron Rye has some good ball striking form at 200. Svensson has some good ball striking form at 200. I did a list down here.
I did a list of last 12 rounds, tee to green, and Svensson was on that list. Connor was on that list. Guido, Kirk, Steele. So there's some guys in here who can get there. They just got to kind of get lucky that they make
the Doctor 250 to 1. He's flashed some ball striking in the past. Guido, for whatever reason, popped in my model at 250 to 1. Good luck picking a 300 to 1 winner. It's probably not going to happen. Norlander at 300. I'm sure his form is garbage. That's why he's down here, but he has flashed some ball striking in the past. I feel like he's maybe played well in Texas. Oh my God, his form.
There's a lot of miscuts on that list.
Like 6 in a row. Gained on approach in 4 straight.
He's always been good gained on approach.
Yeah. You don't bet Henrik Norlander.
Oh my God, look at his putting last year. Here.
Horrible. Horrible.
That's so bad.
Kyle Stanley, 300 to 1. Worst putter on the whole planet.
Yeah, he actually might be the play. He actually might be okay. Like, if he's going to contend, why wouldn't it be here?
Yeah. I think we've said that before.
Putnam.
Yeah, Stanley still ranks. His ball striking hasn't been quite as good. He hits fairways though too, which is nice. Problem is his putter is just you can't even can't do anything. It's horrible. His ball striking hasn't even been that great either. So, I don't know. If you're going to go down there, it's a pure guessing game.
Pick an attribute that you like and then go off that. Don't make it too complicated because that's just going to throw you in the wrong direction. I would say stay in that. I'm going to stay in the 40 to 100 range. That's where I'm.
I'll probably sneak up into the 150s and grab a couple guys because it's such a crapshoot. But
you like Nito at 60, but did we mention him? You like him, right?
I do, but I don't know. He's so weird. His form will get really good for a month, and then it'll be just garbage, and then it'll get good again. And I don't know. I assume he'll be relatively chalky, but I think maybe people have lost enough money on him now that they're fuck that. I'm out on Nito.
I'm one of those people.
He's 12th in my model, 24th in approach, 20th in putting. He must have putted good somewhere because his putting's been largely pretty bad.
Can we agree that we're not betting top 10s this week?
Yeah, I haven't bet top 10s in weeks now. I proclaimed on here that I was done, and I have been done.
Okay, that's
So,
good because I think this week of all of them is like hell no.
yeah, they can't throw good enough odds at you to, to entice that.
But I have a top 20 that's my best bet, so I'm going to save that.
Okay, I have a top 30 as my best bet. Top 20s though, Hadwin, Woodland, Palmer, Day, Kazire, like that group right there. There's probably a couple in there I like. I don't mind Gary. He's played really good golf the last couple months, for the most part. Troy Merritt, I don't know. People like Troy Merritt. I will not be betting him this week. But Knox 250,
Yeah, that was
Pereira
mine.
250.
One I wanted to mention was Knox at 250. I think that's a really good number for the chances he has. I know
Definitely.
he doesn't fucking finish in the top 20. He never does.
I know,
But I
it's so
mean, why
frustrating.
not?
This
Like,
field's pretty bad, so
right, the field's bad. What the course demands. I think if he's going to do it, like he might do it here. I mean, he finished in the top 10 of the players, so he's got the thing. He just doesn't ever do it. Like he finishes 35th
right.
or like 40th. So,
Yep.
But I don't
Definitely.
mind the number. 2.5's not bad for a guy that I think will at least for sure give himself an opportunity to make putts to be there.
Yeah. Charlie Hoffman at 3-1 is not the worst number of all time. I'm pretty sure his form is horrible, but maybe this course he can refine it. Takumi Kanai just finished like in the top 8 or whatever, top 16 at the match play. I don't put a lot of stock into it, but he must have played pretty well. Although that group he came out of, I don't think was very good. That was the Xander group that was not great. Rasmus Højgaard, 6th last week in Corrales. Super talented young guy. Maybe he's got it going the right way, and that's 350. Brendan Steele at 350. Stewart at 450. This is we're getting into the 30-40 range, but just mention some of these guys here. We already mentioned Smotherman, Hostler, Lahiri. I would take some shots with these guys this week because there will be some weird ass names in the top 10, top 20, top 30. For sure. Like without
I'd almost say like veer more towards the 30 range just to kind of give yourself some insurance because the numbers won't be too bad. That's probably where I'll lean. But my best bet's a top 20, and the other one I want to make sure I go again is Russell Knox because he'll be on my card for that top 20 also.
Yeah, so if we pull up some 30s here, Lahiri plus 250, Svensson plus 270, Doc Redman plus 320, Hostler plus 360. I think maybe this is the sweet spot for some bets this week.
Yeah, this is good. It's kind of sucks that DraftKings doesn't have these, so I can't like shop them back and forth. Are you shopping them on FanDuel?
Yeah.
Okay, so we can check there. But yeah, I think there's a lot of these similar. This is honestly a lot of guys that we just mentioned, just a little bit lower of odds. So
yeah, definitely
not much to kind of go over. But Takumi at 225, Nick Hardy at 250 is interesting. I think like ball strike.
He's 4-1 on FanDuel
for top 30.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's what's way better. So,
I tried to bet Nick Hardy and he finished like DFL. So I'm sorry, Nick Hardy.
Hayden Buckley, I know he's another guy. I would just kind of try to find some recent form ball strikers. That's kind of where I'm going to lean this week.
Sort your model by approach and go from there.
Yeah, let me go for last 12 rounds ball striking, and I'm going to read them off to you because I kind of forgot to do Tuesday names today, so I need to talk about that a little bit. Maybe I'll just do it after.
Okay.
Not that anybody even reads them, but
somebody reads them.
I read them.
80 people watched our show last week, so shout out to all those 80 people.
Ball striking last 12 rounds. Brendan Steele, number 1. Luke List, number 2. Mito Pereira, number 3. These are all guys that we
This is like Murderer's Row of like take money straight out of my wallet.
Rory McIlroy, Martin Laird, Smotherman. These are all guys we've been talking about the whole show. Neesmith. Actually, Neesmith's a decent play. We probably should mention him a little bit. Guido, Kirk, and Spawn. So these are all guys we've hit on. We hit on Spawn last week or the week before that.
He was playing really, really good golf, and then I think he played bad at Honda and Players, but other than that, he was playing some super nice golf.
Neesmith got 3rd at the Valspar, 2 weeks ago or whatever it was. So you could play into that. He gained 7.9 strokes on approach. That's pretty interesting.
Spawn popped again at Valspar. 27th at Valspar, gained 7.1 tee to green. His putting is was not good for a couple weeks there. But
I'm gonna add Neesmith. So that's an in-show ad from the Tuesday names list right there for everybody.
have you checked Neesmith's popped 10th in my model?
Yeah.
27th off the tee, 20th, 19th in a approach, good opportunities gained, good scramble, hits the fairways, not really terrible at anything. So
No, that's
he's
why
one
I
of those
like
guys he's just not like uber talented, so it's hard for him to like post top tens, but some pretty good numbers when you look at it. It's hard to say what he did at the Players because he might have got a shitty draw because his numbers are pretty bad there. But before that, 25th at Honda, 3rd at Valspar, some good ball striking numbers. I don't know if he's 34th at Valero last year. That's not terrible. So.
What's Smotherman on FanDuel? Can you look him up? 30.
Plus 480.
Oh, he's 4-1 on River. So that 480, that's a good number right there. That's a good
Definitely.
one. If you have FanDuel account, you should hit that.
What about Hostler on Brett Rivers?
Old Beauregard. He's 275.
Yeah, he's like 360 over here, I think.
Dang, so those are all better.
Hostler is you're basically just betting on his putter or that he like pops with his irons, but he 3rd at Pebble, and then 16th at Honda, 20th at API. So, but it's pretty putter dependent. So maybe I'll stay away. But he's a Texas guy. This course probably, I imagine it makes some sense for him. But yeah, I don't know. Bo Hostler's kind of an enigma to some degree.
The last names list I want to hit real quick. Par 4 scoring. So we've had this kind of conversation, outside of the show quite a bit as far as with not using the ranges of par 4s, but just using par 4s in general, which is really important this week with some of those the distance that's put in those par 4s. Rory, Corey, Mito, Liss. These are the guys we just talked about. But Bobby Mack, Davis Riley, Adam Long. Those are all three guys I think we should be considering this week.
Keegan Bradley, Jason Day, Streelman. Those are guys that are popping for me. Obviously, Mito, of course.
Davis Riley. I'm going to add him too. This is amazing. I'm like reading my card as we go.
Charles Howell. What are our 32nd at API? Flashed some approach form. He was actually playing pretty well in the fall into January. He's been around a while. As an 8th at Valero 10 years ago. All right, head-to-heads. Now, when I was looking at head-to-heads, it was just straight up chalk against chalk.
Terrible.
And it's tough to
Terrible.
There's I'm not going to bet every chalk guy every week, but there's a reason they're chalk. It's because they're good, or they've had good course history, or they're trending, whatever. So it's it's hard to pick between them. If you don't want to bet Tony Finau, if you think he's still playing bad, you can get some matchups against him. That's one way to think about this. If you want to fade one of the top guys like Rory or Bryson, there might be some matchups out there for that as well. I will not be doing that, but I think that's one strategy that definitely you could do.
These DraftKings matchups are horrible.
Yeah, they're not good. I'm looking at them right now.
Keegan Bradley versus Si Woo. Who in the world is betting that? What in the fuck?
Yeah, it's tough out there. Let's see here.
I need to find some. Hurry, let me go to Rivers matchups. Let me look at these.
I'm on FanDuel right now.
So why wouldn't we take Spieth over Rory if Spieth is 130?
Because Spieth's playing significantly worse, way worse.
Rory's not going to try to win though, right? No way.
Yeah, but Rory's just can walk out and just finish 10th.
Yeah, that's true.
Steele plus money over Streelman. Streelman's kind of trending, but Steele's showing some nice underlying form, and that plus money. Hadwin plus money against Finau. I don't know.
Wait, Hadwin plus money against Finau?
Yeah, plus 102. I
think
he's even odds on
Hadwin minus 120 versus Finau. So there's a book difference, big book difference.
Interesting. I don't know. There's some weird bets on here. Connors, if you could find the right Connors matchup, maybe if you could give me Connors over Bryson at a reasonable number, I would take that. Ooh, wow, that's a weird one. Knox plus money over Vegas. I don't care if Johnny Vegas has played good. Johnny Vegas is like the most volatile person on the whole plane. He could lose 8 strokes putting in one round. So not that Russell Knox couldn't, because he does pretty regularly, but plus money, those two should probably not be separated by that much for sure.
What about Tony Bryson? I know this is like, why would you ever bet
I would
this?
take Tony. Just he's actually played golf in the last 5 months.
Right, and he's like, he needs to play better to get like kind of some juju back,
100%,
some confidence
100%.
back.
Yeah.
And he's the dog in this versus a guy that we have no clue what's going to happen with. Not that we have any clue what's going to happen with Tony either, but it's like,
Right.
it probably should be just the same, and it's a pick 'em. But like,
Definitely.
I don't mind that. I might add that to the card actually.
Matchups are
McNeely
pretty
over
big.
Keegan. Do we like Keegan here because of the slope greens?
I just like him because it's a ball striking contest, and that dude's been ball striking the hell out of it.
Yeah, that's maybe true. Maybe stay away from that one unless you like.
Keegan popped third in my model. Just go look at your model and sort by ball striking, because his numbers are stupid.
But his matchups are all minus money, and why would you bet? I can't bet him minus money. I can't.
Well, you can't bet him. You can't you just. I don't know.
You might as well use your money as toilet paper.
His finishes haven't been amazing, but he did. I mean, he popped at API and players back
Because
there.
he misses the putts on Sunday. He's always in like 21st, and then he finishes 49th. Like, that's all it happens.
He has a 48th, a 26th.
Exactly.
Yeah. He's lost strokes putting in like 6 of his last 8. So.
Yeah, I don't know. This is a hard market for matchups. So I'd be careful. Maybe just pick some guys who you don't like, or maybe pick some guys who you don't think should be dogs and just ride them and just try to.
That's pretty much going to be my strategies. I'll look for some wrong numbers and try to ride it, but
yeah,
most of these guys are going to be pretty high in the model. That's basically the matchups that they gave us this week.
I agree.
Specials? Yeah, you got specials. You got
3 years in a row we've had a margin on this tournament. 1 stroke, 2 stroke. I'm hitting it again. We didn't have it last week because of match play, but I think before that we've only not hit it once. So I think we're still on a roll here. I don't know if we hit it the week before that or not. I can't remember. I think we did. I think it hit
probably
the
not. Valspar. It was a playoff at Valspar.
Oh yeah, that was you're right. So we've hit it. We've only missed it twice. So we're going back to the margin. This ball strikers course, it should kind of hopefully separate them. That's at least been the trend in the past. 1 stroke margin, 2 stroke margin. I need to shop those lines around, but expect anywhere from like 250 and then 2 stroke margin to be somewhere like more so like 350, somewhere in there.
Yeah. Bryson DeChambeau to miss the cut, plus 180.
Oh.
This is I don't know. He needs the rounds in theory to get ready, but he may be better served to spend them at Augusta. So I don't. It's a bit interesting.
If you do the triple chance to win, you're an insane person this week.
Yeah, no way. This is, honestly, they don't really offer the field bets at like legal books. That's usually like offshores and local
That'd be
books.
A fun bet this week, though.
This is a field bet week.
Yeah.
Who the hell knows what the hell? I mean, because I don't really know that the chalk is showing up to win. And then below that is just a big cesspool of crap that everybody is basically the same golfer. Like I've said this before, I'll say it 100 times. The margin between like the top 20 players in the world and the next 50 is huge compared to the margin between 40 to 100 in world rankings and everyone below that. Like the margins are so thin there. So when the top is not there, it is just a crapshoot. It is like there's no sizable difference to glean. Like, oh my God, if you're going to put frickin' McNeely at 35, is he really that much better than a guy at 100? No, not over 4 rounds. Over 100 rounds, yes. Over 4 rounds, maybe even like 2 or 3 rounds, no. So this is just throw darts at the 100 range and move on week, because there's not good options that have a implied chance of winning that makes sense in the mid range.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I'm throwing darts this week, so you'll see on my card as we get a little. But I'm gonna try to stay in that 100 range because I think That's like that range that kind of goes to your point of like those guys have a bigger chance this week, like that.
Well, and like
or like 100 to like 75. Those guys.
Yeah, it's just.
And I know the numbers get adjusted for the field. I get that, but
Listen, like Keegan, Hadwin, McIntyre, 35 to 40 to 1. They are not that much better at golf than Lanto, Pat Perez, Martin Laird. Like they're not. They have a little bit more success, yes.
consistent, way more consistent. Yeah.
Yes, but over a 4-round span, they are so similar. It's unbelievable. Like they're so similar.
Cameron Tringali is very consistent. He wins me money constantly. Guess what? He don't ever win. He never wins.
No, these guys don't win.
Those outrights don't matter. They're still $0.
Yeah. So, yeah, just bet wisely. Take some higher odds this week.
Some of these miscut odds are decent. I'm kind of glad you brought that up. Abe Answer 225, Finau 190, Kuchar 150. These are some like guys who miss cuts, like with plus money.
Yeah, there are. Yeah,
I kind of like that. McNeely at 200. Like I would maybe if you want to fade a couple of these guys, add a little miscut prop on them. I don't mind that at all.
Yeah, that might be the better way this week than a matchup, I guess.
Right.
Maybe. All right, one and done. I'm going to keep mine pretty damn simple. Corcon. I know that he's going to be like crazy owned because the strategy of this event would point straight towards picking somebody like him this week because you're never going to pick him again. There's not a lot of great options this week. I don't trust any of the like higher chalk. Normally maybe this is a Matsuyama week where it's like, he's one of the better players in the field, but he's been injured. And I don't know that he gives a shit about winning Valero Texas Open. Yes, if it's Saturday afternoon and he's in first, he will give a shit. But until then, he's just kind of out there playing golf. So Corey Connors, this course has been awesome for him. A win, a top 15, a top 25. I'll just take it. Whatever Corey Connors gives me, I'll live with and try to. I've got a shitload of ground to make up in my one and done pool, and it's not going to be done at the Valero Texas Open. I can promise you that. So. It's going to be at the big events. I will just hope to God Corey Connors, like his floor is like 30th, 40th maybe. So, and his ceiling is win in my opinion. So I'll just go there.
I don't blame you. I've already used him. I used him at the Waste Management. He won me like 36 grand or something stupid like that. I honestly don't even have answers at this point. I don't know what to do. I've looked at it all day today. It makes me want to just take a stab. Because if you're not gonna win, why? Like, what does it even matter, right? So you might as well try to pick your winner. There's one guy I think is gonna win, and he's about to be my best bet, so I won't mention him. I don't really know. I honestly don't know what to do.
Well, it's a personal strategy thing. Do I take a shot at a guy that maybe has a little higher ceiling, lower floor, or do I go higher floor, maybe lower ceiling? That's kind of what I'm doing with Corey Connors. Is I don't necessarily expect him to win, but I feel like I know what his range of outcomes are. It's somewhere between 5th and 35th. And I'll just take my cash, move the hell on, and live to fight another day.
Yeah, this is crazy. I don't even know. I mean, am I going to use Gary? No.
Gary is like the high ceiling, low floor option, though. He may miss the cut, but he easily could win this tournament.
Si Woo, Chris Kirk 25 is, by the way, is insane. Who in the world?
Yeah, that's a horrible number. That's awful.
I don't know. Actually, Gary could be it.
Si Woo's made like 10 cuts in a row, so that's not terrible. One top 5 here, a couple top 25.
Luke List.
No way you're betting Luke List. Have you seen his form? Back-to-back miscuts in a 55th.
I got to pick someone.
Well, you got to pick somebody who's played decent in the last month. Luke List hasn't finished better than 55th since he won like 2 months ago. You've got to pick somebody. It's got to be somebody who's playing decent. Keegan.
All right. I'm picking Hadwin then. Screw it.
All right. Well, let's move into your best bet then.
I'm doing it. Put the thing on. I got something. Cowboy hat.
Let's go.
Adam Hadwin is winning this event in Texas. Let me pull it up for you. This is going to be a great win. I know the odds aren't the best for an Adam Hadwin win, but my model, it's unbelievable. Proximity, good drives, avoids bogeys. His ball striking is amazing. His last 2 finishes are in the top 10. He's a good Bermuda putter. Everything is lining up. Adam Hadwin, this is your insurance, but we're going to fight for the win on Sunday. We don't give a shit about top 20. This is just ice cream, or what do you call it? Icing on the cake.
I like it. His model, like the way he fits, is perfect. He's playing great golf.
Perfect.
Doesn't really do anything bad. Not the longest guy, but he makes up for it by hitting a bunch of fairways. Hits a bunch of greens.
Yep.
Some decent course history. All makes sense.
It's amazing. I love it. I have no doubts that he's going to win this event, and I might just use him on my one and done.
No doubts, he says. All right. I have doubts about my guy winning the whole tournament, but Martin Laird, top 30 plus 220. Another guy that, for me makes a ton of sense. 6th in approach, 27th opportunities gained, 6th in fairways gained. Hits a bunch of fairways, hits a bunch of greens. Playing good golf. Don't watch him putt because he doesn't make putts. But like I said, this field, this event, not as necessary. Gained on approach in 6 of his last 7 and 10 of his last 11.
I like it.
He has 4 top 20s at this event and another 30th. He's a former winner of this event. Martin Laird has been known to win events twice.
Ooh.
He's done that particularly far, really spread apart. So maybe he does win this week. His form would not suggest that he's like due for a win, but he's played okay, good course history. It just makes sense for Martin Laird. I don't know why I think he has a Texas connection, but I still do. Maybe it's just he's played good in Texas.
Doesn't matter. Just matters what's in your brain. That's all that matters. I like it. You've already convinced me. He's on my card. There's going to be a billion top 30s on my card probably, and then like 1 or 2 top 20s with Hadwin, and then the one and done and the outright also. So we'll be heavy on those bets. I like it. Take some bombs, take some stabs, take some darts, whatever you want to call it, whatever you can do to convince yourself, because once you hit that, it'll be a perfect little week going into next week. We have a huge prep week at the Masters. Maybe we even have Tiger in the field. And I have a lot of money riding on the Kansas Jayhawks this weekend. So that would be unbelievable if I hit the Hadwin and the Jayhawks going into the Masters week.
One nugget.
What?
Rory McIlroy has played Valero once.
Ooh.
He got 2nd place. 2.
Ooh.
Martin Laird. Let's go, Marty, the party.
Find that putting stroke. Exacta, Laird, Rory?
That would be possible? If you could get odds on that, that would be sensational. But I don't anticipate books offering a 1-2 Martin Laird, Rory McIlroy finish. But all right, well, that's it. We'll have our cards out. Hopefully we have a little nice week leading into the Masters, and we'll roll it straight into next week.
Yeah, this is gonna be fun. I mean, it's just like kind of a light, like ball. I mean, ball strikers weeks are fun. Like, right? Just pick the guys who hit the ball really well, and hope to God that the greens help them out. You can keep it pretty simple.
Yep. All right, that's it. We'll see you next time.
See ya.